we've done it exactly backwards. And there's a better way. Okay, so that would fit right in fact, I mean, I'm just going to put a cross right there, or an X. That would be your, because the point of two types of people, two types of money, two types of recipients, is so you can go like that. Right? There you go.
Crisscross your arm.
Yeah. That's how that discussion is, right? Is either you've got it set up completely backwards, or most people do it completely backwards. I'm going to show you a better way to reverse that. Okay? You're just doing this. That's how it is. Here's the better way. It's the legacy giving strategy. All right? So IRA goes over to the Ted Cheney Foundation. They get 100% of it. No taxes. The rest of the money goes to the heirs. And you stop. Everybody loves this idea. Right? You feel good about what you've done. You've done something great for a charity and created an endowment program for First Methodist Church, or whatever charity he just talked about. I say you've done something good for that charity. So the Ted Cheney Foundation has done something good for First Methodist Church, whatever. The foundation or the charity feels good about it as well. So you feel good about it, the charity feels good about it, the IRS even says they're okay with it. Because you've directed your social capital to worthy causes. Who doesn't feel great about it?
The kids.
Kids, because they go, hey, wait, what about me? We're not trying to, screw over the kids. You wouldn't say that, but we're not trying to, take from the kids. Some of those legacy dollars, and remember they've heard legacy dollars about 3 times so far. Some of those legacy dollars down at the bottom of the pile. Remember, you have a retirement plan. You pull in income and distributions off the top. You never get down to the bottom. Those are the dollars that pass through your estate. You never pick the last dollar up off the floor and spend it. Some of those dollars we want to rearrange, push into an insurance policy that pays at the second death, so that the kids essentially we've replaced that wealth that went over to your foundation. So now the kids get everything they would have gotten. The charity gets something it would not have gotten, and the IRS paid for it all. Does that make sense?
That line right there, to me, kind of is a great line. The IRS paid for it all.
Yeah, it'll catch their attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what if they challenge you? Now, what do you mean the IRS pays for it?
They will.
Okay? What do you mean the IRS pays for it? Let me show you why the math is always going to work out to be about that. Okay? If you have $1 million that goes to the heirs, what's the IRS's take? All right, so let's say $300,000. That $300,000, if you push it into a second to die policy, buys about how much? Most of the time. A lot. $1 million to $650,000, right? How much are we needing to replace? $1 million to $650,000. Depending on how you want to look at it. You could say, I just want to buy $650 because that's all the kids were going to get. Right? So I'm going to replace the net after-tax amount to the kids, $650. $300,000 in a second to die policy is going to get you a death benefit of $1 million to $650. 9 times out of 10. Right? When you're talking to people in this age group. So you say, well, so that's what I'm talking about. Is that the social capital, the money the IRS was going to take, if we direct that, we replace the money the IRS pays for it. Does that make sense? It can go to social capital, or it can go to taxes. It can't go to the kids. So if you get that concept across, they'll go, oh, well then I don't care. Put it in the insurance policy. Because I don't want to go, so if it's difference between the insurance policy in Washington, D.C., insurance policy wins. Especially when you own the insurance policy. And your kids are the beneficiaries of that insurance policy. That seems a lot more appealing. Right? So if they ask, sometimes they will. Don't try and get in the weeds on it, though. Right? It should take about that long. Right? Don't get in the weeds. Don't try and do a tax calculation. Don't look at the net lump sum to fund the pot. You're not trying to do that right now. You're just saying, you get the concept. This will work. All right, they'll go with you. Right? Is this strategy worth exploring a little bit more? Would it be worthwhile to look at the details on this? Would it make sense for us to see if this works for you? right? You ask it any version of different ways. Basically what you're saying is, look at the details. And I'm going to show you either 9 circles, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to show you a confident retirement tool. I'm going to show you an NAVA plan. Or we're just going to, legal padding. Right? So there's different ways you can say, see those bottom 2 levels, you're fine.
Do you really need to do the details?
What if it's a planning client, you've gone through that 5 different times? You go, remember when we looked at your analysis last time you were in and it looked like you were okay? Remember that? You're okay. All right, so you're in the camp that's going to have money that outlives you. You remember that, looking at that back in May? They go, yeah, sure. We've looked at it every year for the past 5. Okay, then you skip it, right? You just say, remember that? Remember that calculation that we always do? All right, so really you're not going to spend a lot of time. Okay, it's your proof source if you need it to show them they're okay. Before I have this discussion with a client, there are really 4 things that I need to make sure that are in place. One is that you're successfully retired, or that you're well on your way to. In other words, that these 2 levels are adequately funded. You're going to be okay. And we've looked at that, and I think you'd agree you're fine. But what if they're not? You got to get them to that point, right? Second is that there's an embedded tax liability. And we've seen that. You've got your 401k, $1 million, it's got this tax due on it. You've got money above the unified credit amount, it's got tax. What if they change the unified credit? Concept still holds. You got money that you're going to pay taxes on, right? The estate tax level is probably not going up, right? So if you've got a $10 million estate and you think you're good, they're not going to probably raise it to 15. Right? I don't know, but the concept still works. The third is that you have some philanthropic tendencies. There's something you care about. It's important to you to be remembered. It's important to you to set up money to continue the giving that you're doing now and to establish that family feeling of charity and community service. If that's important to you. Or it's not, you just care about directing your own social capital. Right? The fourth is insurability, because that's where we get the wealth replacement strategy. Now that's the one I don't know. I don't know if you're insurable. So one of the things we would do is we can send up an inquiry to the insurance company and see if, based on the answers to the questions that we would give them, if they would insure you. And if they do, then we can talk about the details and make the numbers work. Would that be something worth doing? Would you be willing to see if we can get the insurability issue answered? Okay. And they say yes, great. If they say I need to think about it, then they don't understand something. Right? It's either they think you're going to give all their IRAs to a charity right now. They think they're going to put money into a donor advised fund right now. They think they're going to have to pay for life insurance out of pocket. They think life insurance, I don't need life insurance. I'm 75 years old. I don't need life insurance. That's what they're thinking. There's some misconception they have, and it's your job to figure out what that is.
So how do you politely say, so which part of this don't you get? Seriously?
I wouldn't say it that way, but say that's. Sometimes people say.
No, but I mean seriously, how do you?
Let me go through it again so I can make sure that I've been clear.
So let me go through it again.
Put it back on you. Just say you must not have heard. You didn't get this. Let me make sure I was clear, because that's fine if you want to think about it. But let me make sure that I was clear in going through what this concept is, and walk through it.
So you do it again.
Again, this part, just these 2 charts.
Okay.
This is what we're going to do. You don't have to start from the beginning. Just go through again, and just ask some probing questions. Does that make sense? How the IRS you understand that social capital and how and there's that loss there. Do you get that? Do you understand that? And now the kids aren't going to get everything, and you have the social capital, and you can direct it to Washington D.C. You direct it to you get that and understand that. Yeah, I'm with you. All right. You say, we're going to put it over the foundation. You understand that? Okay. And then they'll ask a question. You go, bing, that's where they misunderstood. Right? So let's talk about what this is. Right?
I think 9 times out of 10 that the foundation is going to be where people are going to be like, sounds, I don't get it.
I'm not big enough. I don't have that much
So,
money.
I mean,
You'll get
I'm
that.
just thinking like.
I didn't, you know, it didn't seem like we've got enough money to set up a
Think
foundation.
like-
Right, you'll get that. Doesn't seem like we have enough money to set up a foundation. That's the great point, is that we can set up in a donor advised fund. We don't have to go through the attorney fees, the complexity, or any of that. We'll set that up. It's funded at the second death. And so it's funded with whatever's left. I don't know how much that's going to be. It's $1, it's $1 million, it's whatever's left over goes into that foundation. Does that make sense?
Sign me up.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I do this then? I mean, what am I missing?
Yeah.
All right, so once you get them to that point, what am I missing?
What am I
Yeah,
missing?
why doesn't everybody do this? That's when they're getting it, okay? That's your first meeting. The second meeting, you got the insurance in place, you're gonna show the numbers. All right, here's exactly where we're gonna pull the numbers or the dollars to fund the policy. It's gonna come from here, I'll get that over there, that's gonna be lump sum funded. We're gonna put $5,000 into your donor advised fund. Remember, that's deductible. We'll get that set up. That's all we're doing in this meeting. The third meeting, you check in on everything. You got your policy, you got your, okay, everything's good. You got that donor advised fund, you got confirmation. We need to change those beneficiaries to put the donor advised fund on your beneficiary designation. Remember, you're not taking the kids off. I mean, you are, but we're not gonna, you're gonna put the donor advised fund on your beneficiary designation. And I want to help you write a letter of instruction around your foundation that will provide some guidance to future generations as to why you did this. That's the third meeting. So you can say this takes a while to put in place, but it's very highly implementable. I mean, you're going to get good uptake on this. You see why I said you get 90% of the people that will do this? And you can think of anybody that wouldn't do this?
The ones we can.
I've had a couple. One of them he just doesn't care. He's not charitably inclined. There's no passion around it. Another guy, I don't know. I'm going to spend all my money. Okay, that's your plan. I mean, I hope that works out exactly right for you. Because if you miss it by a couple months, it's bad.
Kind of guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so you're going to spend all your money. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to spend it all. At that point, what they're doing is they're just deflecting. They're scared about there may be something medically going on with them. They don't want to do the medical insurance. There's,
Sure.
That's usually what it is.
Sure.
Is that they know they can't get this, and they just don't want to talk to you about it. All right, so they'll throw a BS answer if they're like, I'm going to spend all the money. Okay. What about if we did it and whatever's left? If you don't spend it, how it, and it's not about the insurance. We don't have to replace it, but just why not do that? I don't care about it. Okay, all right. Well, you might have one of those. I've had two. Right, so it might happen, but it's rare.
So again, the donor advised fund, we're just setting that up as a shell,
For right now, you're just going to seed the account.
5,000.
Right, and you're going to do it at the second meeting. Remember, you're barely talking about donor advised fund in the first meeting. All right, we'll set up a foundation. I'll show you how to do that. But, don't get in the weeds on that one. Right, in the first meeting. The first meeting is about can we send that insurance up to see if you're even insured?
Sure.
Right, don't get in the weeds on the donor advised fund in the first meeting. You're going to set it up in the second meeting, not the first meeting. All right, so first meeting is about getting the inquiry. Second meeting is about funding the policy and setting up the donor advised fund. The third meeting is about changing your beneficiary designations. Just kind of slowly move through it. All right? The fourth meeting might be your family meeting where you explain
To all the kids.
to all the kids, here's what mom and dad did.
If the parents want it. Sometimes parents don't want the kids to.
So, you want me to do that? Some people want to do that, some people don't. That's fine. I can use specific numbers or I can use generalities.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Okay, fine. I had one client that he wanted to do it. He wanted me to show them the exact numbers because they kept worrying that mom and dad were going to run out of money. He goes, show them the numbers. Guy's like $3 million. He goes, okay. All right. So any questions on that? I'm going to leave this up here. What I'd like you to do is pair up